Dear colleagues, guests, and friends, I am Budi Iman Santoso from Indonesia, and I am going to present about the importance of the pelvic floor dysfunctions, particularly for women in Southeastern Asian region. There are 6 main topics for this session, which are women and the silent epidemic. Second is pelvic floor dysfunction at glance and pelvic floor dysfunction in Southeast Asian women, management strategies, early detection, and strategies for Southeast Asian countries. Due to very limited time, it is not possible to provide detailed information. However, I would like to offer the overall perspective about those issues. One is women and the silence epidemic. Dear colleagues and friends, first of all, let's talk about women. This topic is very important as it is the central subject of our expertise, isn't it? Well, we can all agree that women in general, they need to be respected and loved as none of us would come to this world without being carried in woman womb, wouldn't be. And also, we all know that the greatest love of all is a mother's love, and it is our duty to take care of them, providing a better quality of life. But sadly, women's health is often being disregarded and abandoned. In our field of urogynecology, one of the main problems in women's health is pelvic floor injury. Many women who become mother and have given birth naturally get affected by pelvic floor injury, which cause pelvic floor dysfunction. This condition has been ignored and pelvic floor injury becomes a silent epidemic. And a second, we talk about pelvic floor dysfunction at glance. Let's take a look on pelvic floor dysfunction. Pelvic floor prevalence is quite high as it affects every 1 in 4 women. Pelvic floor affects every 1 in 4 women with prevalence of 24% in US women. It is observed in 41% of women in age range of 50 to 79 years. Pelvic floor dysfunction, which prevalent in developing countries, as a urinary incontinence is about 29%, and fecal incontinence is about 7%, and pelvic organ prolapse is about near 20%. Vaginal birth is the strongest risk factor, and other factors may also play a role, such as obstetric and maternal factor. Risk factors is a vaginal birth is the strongest factor of pelvic floor dysfunction. Obstetric factors like multiparity, vaginal birth, high-grade perineal laceration, fetal position, height and weight, instrumental delivery. And maternal factor is age, height, BMI, family history of pelvic floor dysfunction, and ethnicity. The role of cesarean section on pelvic floor dysfunction has been debated for years, but recent evidence show its protective effect. However, it is still controversial, and high-risk women needs to be evaluated carefully through early detection measures. What about a cesarean section versus vaginal delivery? Cesarean section may have protective effect for pelvic floor dysfunction in vaginal delivery. A systematic review of 56 articles found that prevalence of urinary incontinence is lower in women with cesarean delivery, but the protective effect decreased after the woman reached 50 years old. There were no difference of fecal incontinence incident in both groups. The risk is increased with operative vaginal delivery or anal injury. Cesarean delivery protects against pelvic organ prolapse. Role of elective cesarean section. Elective cesarean section in general have limited benefits and still controversial. In high-risk women of pelvic floor dysfunction, offering the choice of elective cesarean delivery is appropriate to prevent pelvic floor dysfunction. How high the risk threshold? Now we talk about pelvic floor in South Asian women. Asian women, especially in Southeast Asian region, they are wonderfully strong with rich culture. In particularly area of my country, they are often the breadwinner, and we often see them carrying heavy load on their head, either for the sake of daily living or cultural duty. South Asian woman is unique, wonderfully strong with rich culture, often the breadwinner, often see them carrying heavy load on their head, either for the sake of daily living or cultural duty. Now, let's see the pelvic floor issue in East Asian region. Most women in Southeast Asia country have little knowledge about pelvic floor disorder. And there is a difference in management of pelvic floor dysfunction among Southeast Asia country. And guidelines of Western country are difficult to be applied due to different conditions and situation require specific modified strategies. We need solid collaborative commitment in the Southeast Asian region. While in the Western country, this problem has been priority and managed quite well. But in Asia, particularly in our Southeast Asian region, the problems remain hidden, if not abandoned. Asian women tend to be shy and have to act strong solving their own problem. So when they have pelvic floor injury, they tend to be silent and bear it by themselves until it is all too late. The defect might be too severe to be repaired even by reconstructive surgical treatment. Hence, we are doomed to face the problem at this most severe state, and nothing can be done about that. Therefore, it is important to raise the awareness of this silent epidemic. It should be a wake-up call for all of us to develop early detection strategy before it is too late and we can do nothing to help the patient. And now we talk about the management strategy. So what are the management strategy for the issue? Treatment of pelvic floor dysfunction is challenging in terms of high recurrence rate, significant effect on quality of life, high cost, and long term of treatment. Therefore, prevention and early detection is the key. When we detect early, we treat better. Prevention is the best treatment. And we talk about the how to early detection. There are two important aspects in early detection, which are methods for predicting the risk to develop pelvic floor dysfunction and the tools for predicting the risk to develop pelvic floor dysfunction. Jelosek, Soligo, and Ayuga, with its brilliant acronym we call it your choice regarding the tool for predicting the risk. There are MRI. We can use MRI, ultrasound with smart pelvic, of course. Predicting the risk of develop pelvic floor dysfunction from Jelosek et al. Found that in their longitudinal study, family history, route of delivery, urinary incontinence before and during pregnancy are strong predictors of pelvic floor disorder. And Soligo et al. Made a multivariable analysis and found that symptoms of incontinence before and during pregnancy with oath ratio is 1.7 and 2.1. Vacuum extractor with oath ratio 1.6. Severe perineal tears with oath ratio is 19.4 are associated with pelvic floor dysfunction. Ayuga in Dublin made a predictive scoring of future pelvic floor dysfunction following childbirth based on two large longitudinal study we call it your choice. It means you can rate in that. U is mean urinary incontinence before pregnancy. R is race or ethnicity. C is childbearing age. And H is height, is mother height. And O is overweight. We call it BMI. I is inheritance, is family history. C is children, number of children desired. and A is estimated fetal weight. Tools for early detection, there were some signs to detect injury to perineal muscle. The factor age. Avulsion is significantly etiology of in broad organ pelvic development in the future. Physical examination using finger, you can see it in the slide, can be used to detect this abnormality. The best modality to detect levator injury is using MRI. However, there were obstacles in using MRI for early detection, of course. You can see here, this is the left side, there is before delivery, and the right side is after delivery. You can, hiatus is more wide, you compare, and perineal measurement is, is height before and after delivery. And we know it's the problem of MRI is, I think, is we need the patient to be completely still, expensive fee, and the problem is patient with the metal implant are not suitable, and display anatomy not in a dynamic state. The ultrasound allows real-time, dynamic, non-invasive, and cheap, and quickly to assess pelvic floor, and we can call it smart pelvic. Is in ultrasound program, is designed for clinical utility in assessing pelvic floor. So with the smart pelvic, you give many advantages with its big data algorithm. It is auto measurement of anterior pelvic floor compartment, elevator hiatus evaluation, indicator measurement, annotation reference, and efficient and easy to learn. And 5 times faster than ordinary ultrasound. Yeah, you can see here, it's, I think it's this by for MRI. And but not every hospital or not patient suitable for this technique. So we have the problem with that. And also, of course, we can use the method of smart pelvic with ultrasound. We have 5 times faster if you compare with the ordinary ultrasound. And about the strategies for Southeast Asian country. Specific strategy need to be developed for Southeast Asian region. In this region, of course, it has different and unique situation than other countries, considering the culture, geographical, and socio-economic challenge. So the strategy may include modified guideline, focusing on early detection and prevention. We use the predicting risk factor. We call it BISA score. Or, of course, you use the ultrasound. And we need the multi-center studies, building regional data, and international support continues with, of course, the IUGA members. Let's talk a little bit about BISA score, as it is a practical method used in Indonesia to determine women who are at risk having a pelvic floor dysfunction due to vaginal delivery. So, BISA score is come from, I'm sorry, it's come from my name. We call it Budi Iman Santoso assessment score. We have the research for this for 2 years, and the result is we call is BISA score. And this scoring has been developed to represent a role of demographic risk factor, BMI, and obstetric risk factor. And a woman at high risk should be suggested to have the ultrasound, 3D or 4D, of pelvic floor examination for levator injury in 3 months after delivery, if you want to make sure that is the what happened with the levator ani. Here are BISA scorecard can be used in daily practice. For example, we have 2 kind of BISA score. This is the model 1. This have the 4 variable here. We can use the episiotomy and stage of the second labor and fetal birth weight. Sorry, we use the 3 variable. If the episiotomy you done, you just tick yes, and the second stage of labor, if the more than 65 minutes, you can take the score 2, and fetal birth weight more than 3,325 grams, you take that is score 1. And totally is there is positive, it be score totally is 4, and predictive value is about near of 90%. This is the high risk. Its total score is 3 and 4, and low risk is 0 to 1, and moderate risk is score is 2. If you use the model 2, there is 2 variable. It's mean a perineum rupture. It mean is the totally sphincter. We call is grade 3 or more of the grade 3. We call is oasis of obstetric sphincter and injury. If you find it, you can tick yes. The score is 2. Its second stage of the labor is more than 65 minutes. You can tick this variable in score 1. And totally, the score is 3. Is all of 2 variable is positive. The prediction value is about 88%. So this is a high risk. Yeah, the high risk is 2 and 3. So we can explain give the education for the patient what to choose, the best choose that they must be happen to the patient. Yeah, they can try with the delivery normally, or he want to go to the C-section. If she become delivery and success of delivery, and you can ask her to come to the clinic, on your clinic, to examine the pelvic floor with smart pelvic 3 months after that. So for the conclusion from our presentation today, now we have come to the end of the presentation. In brief, I can say that early detection is a real important action that we can do to prevent further complication of pelvic floor dysfunction. specific modified guideline for Southeast Asian region need to be developed. I believe that this issue should be concerned by all of us. We can manage the problem together as a solid team worldwide, as the problem is indeed a global issue. Southeastern Asian countries need to develop their own modified guideline to address this problem, and we should give our full commitment to solve the problem for our women who have been suffering so much. They need what they deserve. Let's get work together and provide better quality of life for our women in the Southeast Asian region. Thank you for your attention.